The Chick Corea Trombone Concerto was written and composed by one of the greatest musicians of our time. It's so sad that he just passed away recently, but he did complete the concerto written for me, and it was premiered last August in Sao Paulo, Brazil, with Giancarlo Guerrero conducting. And how did this happen? How was I able to convince, the great Chick Corea to write a trombone concerto? Well, it wasn't easy, but and it teaches everybody that if you don't ask for something or go for something, you'll never know whether if you are successful. So I went ahead and asked my friend Makoto Ozone if he would be nice enough to contact Chick Corea on my behalf, and he did. And Chick Corea responded positively that he wanted to continue and write the trombone concerto. But I have lots of text messages on my phone between the two of us, Chick Corea and myself, convincing him, to go ahead with the project. And he was a little concerned to work with symphony orchestras. He had done that before, but maybe he didn't have the greatest experience. But I assured him that the New York Philharmonic, which was the commissioning orchestra, was an orchestra that was very flexible and could play any kind of music. So once he heard that, he was very happy to continue. So the result was a 4-movement concerto. The first movement is called a stroll. So Chick Corea spent a lot of time in New York City, and he walked uptown and downtown one day from the very northern part of Manhattan and all the way to the southern part of Manhattan. So this movement reflects, sights and sounds that, he encountered along that time when he was walking. And the second movement is called Waltz for Joe. So he wanted to explore the more lyrical side of the instrument, and I had requested that, actually. The third movement is called Hysteria, and that was composed at the beginning of the pandemic, representing the chaos in the world that was going on at the time. And the last movement is Tango for Joe. I didn't ask him to put my name in these movements, but he did, which was very nice. And the last movement, to be honest, was finished kind of quietly in a somber way, just like all the other movements did. And so I had to summon up the courage to ask Chick Corea if he would rewrite the last movement, and especially the ending, the coda, if it could end in a big way. So that took a lot of courage to ask him that, but he did rewrite it. So it ends in a really big way, finishing on 5 high F sharps. Now, I'm not going to play that part right now, but I'm going to play another part of the last movement for you. But it's in the tango section, and anyway, it really represents, I think, what Chick was all about. And incidentally, he was going to play the piano part at the premiere performance. So the piano part in the very beginning was written for him. So here we go. I think it's some really wonderful music, and I'm very excited to play the piece, so far with the Sao Paulo Symphony and also with the Gulbenkian Symphony in Portugal, which is a couple of months ago. Next up is playing it with the Tokyo Metropolitan Orchestra in Tokyo with Alan Gilbert conducting. And I'll be playing with the Helsinki Philharmonic in January, and finally with the New York Philharmonic next May. I feel that this piece really could be part of the repertoire, standard repertoire, just like when Jim Pugh wrote the trombone concerto, which I did the New York City premiere back in, maybe year 2000, a long time ago. But that piece now, his concerto, Jim Pugh's concerto, is now standard repertoire and actually is appearing on trombone competitions, international trombone competitions. So I feel Chick's piece will probably end up being required for repertoire on some of these competitions. Not only that, but there's a wind band version that's being arranged by my good friend John Dixon, who was a big collaborator in this project. And it will be premiered with the University of Las Vegas Wind Ensemble with Tom Leslie conducting next spring. So between the orchestral version, the wind band version, and also a piano version, piano and trombone version, I think, a lot of trombone players are going to want to be playing this great music of Chick Corea.